Happy lunch hour, gang. All right. So now, following this morning's video, not that it was the influence on it by any means, but we're finding more and more information that is coming out about political violence next Tuesday. And you can pretty much guess which side it's coming from, because the left is increasingly expecting a trouncing of Kamala Harris. So as I was reading the morning news, if you will, ran across a couple of things. One was an article from the Wall Street Journal, and I'd link it, except it's behind a paywall, so the best I can do is link an article about the article. And then another portion about, or another article from National Public Radio. Now, I'd say the Wall Street Journal is probably center-right, and NPR is very much left. So this is coming from both sides. And both sides are expecting political violence after the election. And it's funny reading them because the article at NPR, of course, is saying that when Trump loses, right, okay, that's going to happen. The only way that's happening is with the cheat. We know that. And then, of course, the Journal is interviewing Democrats after Trump wins. So there's the idea. But here's the worry, and this is where you get into it. You now are starting to get organized groups literally coming out in public saying that something's going to happen, okay? We'll start with the NPR article talking about Common Defense, which is a national progressive organization, supposedly of 40,000 veterans, that I find hard to believe, that's been preparing their own network to respond to locations where political violence happens. And it's assembling what it's called quick reaction forces, that they're supposedly going to go in and break these things up. No, they're probably going to be the ones that are going to be instigating the violence, right? Okay. But even then, you take a look at other organizations. A couple of days ago, there was a Zoom meeting, and you had about 200 people who attended it. The Zoom meeting was entitled Mass Training for Women's Safety Teams, hosted by a Women's March veteran, to talk about escalating political violence. You have many, including in Washington, D.C., women's marches already planned, some before and some after the election, to protest the election. In Boston, you have what they're calling pill packing parties, where volunteers are filling mail packages full of abortion apparatus, I don't know what they want to call it, pills or whatever, to send to red states. Now you got to kind of think about that. It's like, so you're promoting back alley abortions, or you're sending drugs that are required to have a prescription through the mail blindly to people? Oh, okay. Got it. Who's the party of law and order again? It ain't the left, okay? You just keep going here with another group called People Power United, okay, that is going to protest Trump's fascism, okay? And they do bi-weekly seminars on this for how people should be able to react, how they can protect themselves against this. These are all fronts, guys. Do not be fooled for 1 second. The left is actively planning, talked to you about this morning about just the shenanigans they pulled at the rally at Madison Square Garden yesterday. I mean, give you this one even. people were, and I told you this morning, people were lined up at Madison Square Garden for a day and a half to get in for the rally last night. And even though the Trump organization applied for porta potties, the city of New York refused to give them or issue them a permit for them. Basically trying to keep people away. Now, you think about if this was a Democrat deal, people would be pissing and shitting on the street. And so what you wound up had happening yesterday in New York was the people waiting for the rally set up makeshift bathrooms, if you will, shower curtains and that sort of stuff, so people could go pee in a cup. This is the low levels that the Democrats stoop to prohibit anybody who doesn't think like them from having anything civilized whatsoever. I mean, really, you're going to prevent people from using the bathroom. And when people were trying to get out of line, if you will, say it was a husband and wife going and the wife wanted to go to the bathroom, security, New York cops, would not let them out of line and come back to get back in their space in line, even though somebody was there with them holding their place in line. No, you couldn't go through again. How that all turned out, I don't know. But, maybe the people were polite enough to say, okay, go ahead, my husband's up there or whatever. So the people were literally out saying, we're not eating or drinking anything until we can get in. I can't imagine what the lines for the bathroom was like at Madison Square Garden yesterday upon them opening the doors. You have Hollywood out stoking hate. That's what Hollyweird is good for. Ellen Barkin sitting here screaming about how Trump hates Jews. Really? His son-in-law and his wife or his daughter who converted to Judaism and are raising their sons in the Jewish faith? Got it. Okay. Yeah, he must hate Jews a whole lot. Them raising hell with some comedian who made an off-colored joke about Puerto Rico yesterday, who isn't anywhere part of the Trump campaign. But no, that's the headline story. We can't talk about anybody who followed him in the 4.5 hours or whatever, the dozens of speakers. As you get closer and closer to Trump, they get higher on the rank. No, we couldn't talk about any of those or Trump's speech. No, we have to talk about some idiot comedian who's notorious for making rude jokes. Why he got invited, don't know. Trump campaign's already said he's got nothing to do with the campaign, whatever it would be. All right. Is that a mistake, inviting this guy? Yeah, I'm betting his career is probably in trouble pretty quick. He probably got an earful when he walked off stage. But the violence is coming. They are telling you this. They are organizing it and trying to say, oh, we're doing it to prevent violence. Right. The violence is going to be coming from your side. If you're going to be preventing the violence, then you better get talking to the people that are voting for Kamala Harris, because they are the ones going to be the violent ones. But I will give them all one quick piece of information, just a little bit of advice. If you're going to get violent, stay in your blue cities, because as soon as you get out into the red areas, we're not putting up with it. And we will stop you one way or another. And if that means a whole lot of citizens' arrests going on next Tuesday, next Wednesday, so be it. Pinball out.